It was love at first sight when she walked through that door. The most beautiful girl I'd ever seen before. Sea green eyes and long blonde hair, cool smooth smile and didn't have care. I don't know why, but she walked my way. I was scared to death, but I was ready to play. Love at first sight sets the spirit free. I felt the dark clouds part, I heard the angels sing. My heart caught fire and my soul can fly. That's when I knew I had to make her mine. 2 days passed before I made that.
Everybody, hang on. Hey, everybody, how you doing? My name is Mickey, and this is Mickey in the Middle, the quintessential show for Middle Americans, where all Middle Americans are welcome. It doesn't matter where you've been, doesn't matter where you're going, it just matters that you're here right now. We do not pay attention to the 20% of the crazies on the far left or the 20% of the crazies on the far right. We just worry about the 60% of sane human beings that want a better America who live in the middle. That's why the show is called Mickey in the Middle. So, that is absolutely crazy. So, I am so ill prepared to do this show tonight. But there are a couple of things that I want to talk about. I have not been feeling good since Monday. Now, you might go, well, why, Mickey? Is everything okay? Oh, yeah. I made some bad life choices on Monday, and they affected me until today. Here's what the deal is. Stay away from foreign substances, kids. Alcohol, tobacco are bad for you. Let's see. Oh, and you got to eat right. And you got to exercise. And you got to do all those things. So, all right. So, what do we got going tonight? Well, Jimmy Kimmel is back. Now, apparently, Jimmy Kimmel, his monologue was one of the most downloaded. Oh, wait a minute. Before we do that, hold on. What am I doing? Let's do this. Hold on. Let's talk about why we're doing the show. All right. We the people, Constitution of the United States, one of the most important documents in the whole wide world. We will be talking about that. Hey, there's 8,248,000,000 people on the planet. And in the United States, if you're looking from the United States, there's 347 million of us that are all sharing this space. Our debt clock is $37 trillion. Man, that's a lot of money, isn't it? That is absolutely crazy. So, now that I feel like we've gotten off to an official start of the Mickey in the Middle show, and Mickey in the Middle of the week, 9 p.m. Central, most Wednesdays. All right, so Kimmel is back. Already on YouTube, his monologue for the day that he came back is one of the most downloaded things in the last 24 hours. It's trending the whole 9 yards. Millions of people watched it. I didn't watch it. I'm not even interested in it. So the argument with Kimmel was that Donald Trump and the FCC didn't like him, so they took him off of the air, which was bullshit. Now, how do I know that? Because the corporation said that it was their decision. And then they suspended him, and then they put him back on the air. So if Donald Trump had anything to say to you, do you really think that Jimmy Kimmel would be back on the air? So that means that everybody that was screaming about Donald Trump's inappropriate comments, about taking away the First Amendment and people's right to free speech. Do you remember when everybody was freaking out about that? This is about free speech. Jimmy Kimmel can say whatever he wants to say. And by the corporation taking him out, that's government censorship, and that's a That's a violation of free speech. No, it's not. It's not a violation of free speech. Here's the deal. Free speech is between you and the government. The government can't stop you from saying what you want to say. They can't stop me from saying what they want to say. Now, if they come in my house and they arrest me and say, Mickey, you were mean, or Mickey, that was misinformation, or Mickey, that was hateful, or whatever, and they threw me in jail, then that would be the government either sanctioning me or taking me to court and saying that I couldn't say what I wanted to say. None of that happened. And when I say none of that happened, none of that happened. Now, Donald Trump also has a right to free speech. So he can say, as I've said on my Facebook account many times, Donald Trump can say all of the stupid shit that he wants until there's government action that has a negative effect on a different party, then that is inappropriate. So Donald Trump can say all the bad things, and he says bad and mean shit about people all the time. Donald Trump is the other day he was riding down acetaminophen, the stuff that's in Tylenol. So I don't know whether that's medical malpractice. I don't know whether it is good, bad, or indifferent. All I know is that Donald Trump said it. Does he have immunity as president of the United States against defamation and libel? I don't know. I do know that the Supreme Court said that needed to be looked at in every case, whether he was acting as a private citizen or in the capacity as the president of the United States. Why? Because they also had a case involving Donald Trump about when he was doing official acts or not that went to the Supreme Court. And they said, hey, the court has to determine whether Donald Trump was acting as a president of the United States when he said these things, or Donald Trump was acting as a private citizen when he said these things. And then anyway, the case went back to the court, and then the court dropped the case. Don't ask me, but the legal precedence from the Supreme Court still stands. So that means that Donald Trump and other acting officials in the government can say the things that they want to say. They're protected under two clauses. First, free speech. And second, the clause that basically gives immunity, limited immunity to government officials. Now, they don't always have immunity. Court systems found that they don't always have immunity, but most of the time that they do. Why is this important? Because last week I got into a beef on Facebook with people that didn't understand that the president of the United States says some pretty stupid stuff. He says very, very inflammatory things. He says things that are considered hate speech. There's a lot of things that people say that he says things that makes him a racist, and things that make him an anti-Semite, and things that make him anti-woman. And here's the thing is, everybody can have things taken out of context. And I don't know what the full meaning of everything that Donald Trump says. And I'm not going to defend anything that Donald Trump says. You want to know why? Because that's Donald Trump's job. If you're a Donald Trump fan, let Donald Trump defend Donald Trump. If you're an AOC fan, let AOC defend AOC. If you are a fan of whoever else that's out there in the thing, let them defend themselves. We take sides. Jimmy Kimmel is a perfect example. Jimmy Kimmel said something. Donald Trump said something. Jimmy Kimmel said something. His corporation said something. And the next thing you know is everybody on the internet took a side and then defended and tried to make you defend your person. I want you to think about that. How insane. Still got that tick. How insane is it that you immediately pick up the banner to defend what somebody else has said rather than letting them defend themselves? And we start making crazy points. So when I was in this discussion about Jimmy Kimmel and Donald Trump, I was saying that there's been no official government action And then they were trying to get me to defend what Donald Trump said. And then they were like, and how is it bad that Jimmy Kimmel was saying what? So I can't say what was good or what was bad because I wasn't involved in that conversation, but they wanted me to throw in my 2 cents. And I did for a couple times. And I was like, this, man, screw it. Here's the deal is these people don't want to listen. So when you go online, I want you to go online and I want you to think about the last 15 conversations that you had with people online and how many of them changed their position. How many people went, oh, you know what? You're right. You know what? Donald Trump did not take any official action. And actually, that was the corporation. And now he's being reinstated. So his suspension is over. And now he's going to be back on the air. So everything that the left was saying about Donald Trump turned out to not be true. Maybe. But everything that Jimmy Kimmel and his company did turned out to be right. So did you defend the right side? And when you were in the discussion defending the side that you were on, did you change anybody else's mind? I throw some inflammatory shit out there sometimes. Sometimes I throw a little nugget just to see what kind of reaction there is because I honestly believe the things. I'm never baiting anybody when I throw something out there on the internet. It really is something that I truly believe, but I get attacked for it all the time. But I really am thinking that I should just not interact with people that are crazy because it doesn't matter. They're never going to change their mind. Earlier this year, I had a conversation with somebody about self-driving trucks in Texas. And that person thought it was the worst thing in the world. And my entire point was all of the automation and all of the AI and all of the self-driving cars and all the all of the things that are in marketing, all of the things that are in logistics, all of the things that are in storage, all of the things that are in delivery, all of the things that are going to be piloted, all of the things that are going to be loaded, all of the things that are going to be delivered are all going to be automated one day. My entire point was we're all losing our jobs. And they were like, yeah, but we can't lose trucking jobs. And I was like, we're going to lose trucking jobs. My friend can already drive. My friend does not already drive to the store when she goes to the store. She gets in a car and it drives her to the store. She doesn't even touch the steering wheel. She just punches on a couple buttons and says, I want to go to the store. The car leaves the garage, drives to the store, parks itself. She goes into the store. She comes back out. The car unparks itself, drives her back home, and parks itself back in the garage. The only thing that she has to do is she has to plug it in and unplug it. That's already here. That's going to be taken to all of the highways shortly. But I could not convince them that it's going to happen to everybody and that this was an inevitable step because they didn't want to hear what I had to say. They just wanted to complain about how bad it was. But I was like, hey, it's not just them, it's everybody. So that's what I'm trying. Is how many times are you changing somebody's mind when they're online? How many times are you taking the time, effort, and energy to think through a problem and you're not changing somebody's mind? Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't try. I'm not saying that you shouldn't try wholeheartedly, but only talk to the people that seem to be receptive to an idea that, hey, the idea that I have is structured around this idea. I use the Constitution a lot, and I use what is known to happen in the government. How do legal systems work? How does the judicial system work? How does the policing system work? How does human interaction work? How do those things all intertwine with the Constitution of the United States, with the law as it is written, with the states, with the federal government, with the Constitution? how do all of those things come together to come up with a reasonable answer? And I think that that's why people like watching me, is because I know a lot of stuff about a lot of stuff. I don't know how I know it, but I just kind of figured it out over the time. So I've read the Constitution. I read the Declaration of Independence. I understand how laws work. I understand why people get thrown in jail and why people get released. I understand why Trump can say something as the president of the United States against Tylenol and acetaminophen, and why people would be upset with that, because people reacted to that. I didn't even know that Trump said anything about Tylenol. And all of a sudden I see that JFK and Trump are enemies of the state, and then everybody's coming out saying that it's been proven time and time again that it's effective. And there's a lot of people that are saying, hey, listen, yeah, it's been proven effective because the way that they conducted the test was not correct, but we have found other studies that say that's not so. I don't know what the right answer is with that, right? I use Tylenol. I'm going to continue to use Tylenol. But here's what the simple fact of the matter is. Trump said it. People reacted. It's the way it's going to happen every single time. The reason I'm bringing this up tonight is because if you think about free speech, we have to appreciate free speech for us and for everyone else. Because other places in the world are taking away rights. I can't believe I'm about to say what I'm about to say. Several years ago, Australia took away everybody's guns. They still have guns, but it's very, very limited. It's really, really hard to get a gun because a friend of mine took another friend of mine hunting, and they use guns to go kill boar out in the outback. So I know that they have guns. I know in the outback they have guns, but they took away the majority of the guns from the majority of the people in Australia. Guess what they're doing now? This is crazy. Wait a minute. Where is it? Look at this. Victoria is banning machetes as knife definitions create confusion. You want to know why they're taking away machetes? Because people couldn't kill enough people with guns, so they started using machetes. How many times we told you that it's not the gun, it's the people, right? So now the crazy people can't get guns, so now they're taking machetes. And they're having machete wars like in malls and stuff. So now the government wants to take all of the, and what are they going to do next? Are they going to take knives and forks? Are they going to take spoons? Are they going to take away sticks over 13 inches? 36 inches? Are they going to take away baseball bats? Are they going to take everything with a pointy end? This is how stupid these people are. They don't understand that people have no way to defend themselves. Here's the deal. You know what I did today? I went and I shot a course of fire. Oh, by the way, Arkansas Armory, thumbs up. I went to Arkansas Armory to shoot a course of fire. By the way, I was 50-50 on target with 90% in the 9 or smaller ring. Just want to say I was very, very proud of myself. So well done, Mickey, for my enhanced concealed carry. But if I was in Australia, I wouldn't have an opportunity to have a concealed carry license because they took away that right in Australia. But the reason that I have a weapon is so that I can defend myself. Well, if you take away my weapon, now all of a sudden I can't defend myself. Because here's what the difference is. If you have somebody that's 5 feet tall and weighs 100 pounds, and you have somebody that's 6'5" and weighs 250 pounds, the person that's 250 pounds, 6'5", wins 100% of the time, unless there's something to even the playing field between the 5 foot, 100 pound person and the 6'5", 250 pound person. Even if it's a machete, the 100 pound person doesn't stand a chance against 250. It just doesn't work that way. You want to know why? Reach, size, height, strength. That's the way that it works. Guns at least level the playing field. I believe in protecting your castle, protecting your family, protecting your neighborhood. That's what I believe. I believe that you have to have that. I believe that that is Literally, one of the 3 reasons why we have guns in the United States of America. Defense. Number 2 is hunting and tyranny from the government. And if you don't believe that it can work, go over to Afghanistan right now and see who's in charge of Afghanistan, because it sure as hell isn't the world superpower, the United States of America. Is because a bunch of Taliban people had AK-47s and M16s, and they hid in the mountains, and they outweighted the superpower. So don't tell me that a superpower like the United States of America can't be defeated by people with common rifles, because it just happened again. And they did it with Russia earlier this century. But now they're taking away your rights. Now they're trying to take away machetes. And that's what the thing is about the Constitution of the United States of America. My favorite document in the history of the world. You want to know why? Because this right here says that you get to say whatever you want to say. It says you get to say whatever you want to say. It says that you can gather with other people. It says that you can defend yourself and defend your ideas. It says that you have freedom of the press, freedom to assemble, freedom from hassle by the government. They can't even house troops in your house. I love that one. And in the 9th Amendment of the Constitution, it says that not all of these rights that we're talking about here are the only ones. There can be many rights that we have not even considered that are applicable to a free society. So that's what I got to say about that. Do not let them take your rights. Jimmy Kimmel and President Trump prove that free speech is still alive in America. Jimmy Kimmel can say whatever he wants. Trump can say whatever he wants. You can say whatever you want. Remember, don't libel somebody. Don't defame somebody, right? Don't terroristic threaten. So no terroristic threatening, no libel. Do not libel somebody and do not defame somebody, because those are, in fact, against the law. But you can say just about anything else that you want. So don't let them take your guns. Do not let them change the Constitution of the United States of America. We are doing fine, people. Just want to let everybody know that we're still doing fine. No matter what they say on the internet, you're not a fascist, a communist, a Nazi, or anything else like that. You're just a person in the United States trying to live your best life by saying what you want to say and living life the way that you want to live. And I want to support you in that role. There we go. That's going to be it for tonight. Holy smoke. Oh, yeah. One more thing. The Ryder Cup starts on Friday. USA, USA, USA. It's going to be a great thing. Europe is in town. It's going to be at Bethpage Black at Bethpage State Park in Farmington, New York. By the way, I played there earlier this year on Bethpage Black. And when it says that it's an extremely difficult course to only be attempted by expert golfers, they mean that stuff. So me and my cousin had an opportunity to go up there with Colin. Thank you very much, Colin. Greatly appreciate that. That was a great ride. So Brendan, Brendan, Colin, Chris, and myself played Bethpage Black under Ryder course conditions. We all shot under 100. I didn't think it was going to be possible. Now I would shoot in the high 80s. I would be in the mid 80s now that I know what I know about the course. But that was fantastic. So anyway, support the United States of America as we are playing in the Ryder Cup against Europe, and we need the win. We're on home soil. We don't win very often in the Ryder Cup, but we need this win. So support the Ryder Cup. Go team. And other than that, hey, that's it for Mickey in the Middle of the Night. Remember, Mickey in the middle of the week, Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Central, wherever you are, wherever I am. Yeah, like, share, kiss babies, tell your friends, whatever. You guys all have a great night. I'll talk to you later. See you. Bye.